I spent 3 years retelling the legends of King Arthur. I retold the most popular ones and ones that, to my knowledge, have not been retold in over 800 years. But one of the questions I got a lot while I was doing it was, well, how many of the stories are true? And unfortunately, I had to say none of them. Maybe just one, but we'll circle back to that. This might shock some of you because a lot of the people that I've met seem to assume that King Arthur was a real medieval king who lived in a real medieval world with the plate armor and the castles and the knights and all of that stuff. However, the true origins of King Arthur might surprise you. Here's the overall point of this video. King Arthur, as we know him today, is a composite figure of a Welsh mythological figure named Arthur and a real historical figure in the 5th century. Both of these figures combined into Arthur Pendragon, the figure that we all know and love today. Let's list a number of characteristics of the popular King Arthur figure. He was named Arthur, he had a battle companion named Kay, he fought giants, he had a wife named Guinevere, he fought in the Battle of Camlan, he never died, he lived in the 5th century, he was an heir to royalty, he was an orphan, he fought Saxons, and he opposed the evil King Vortigern. There are a lot more, of course, but I'm sticking to the ones that come from Geoffrey of Monmouth, because Geoffrey of Monmouth wrote the first recognizable legend of King Arthur that we would all recognize today. However, as I said, Arthur Pendragon is a composite figure. Here's what's interesting. Ancient Welsh mythology tells of an ancient hero named Arthur. He had a battle companion named Kay, he fought giants, he had a wife named Guinevere, he fought in the Battle of Camlan, and he never died. However, the legend of King Arthur says that he lived in the 5th century. The problem is that there is no historical figure named King Arthur in the 5th century. However, there is someone who fits the profile of King Arthur very closely. His name is Ambrosius Aurelius, likely a Romanized Briton. He lived in the 5th century, he was an heir to royalty, he was an orphan, he opposed King Vortigern, and he fought the Saxons. So here we have 3 different Arthurs, if you will. We have the Arthur of Welsh mythology, we have the historical Arthur of Ambrosius Aurelius, and then we have King Arthur Pendragon, who was largely developed by Geoffrey of Monmouth in the 12th century, which is the figure that we all recognize. So how did Ambrosius Aurelius become known as Arthur? Well, maybe it was a nickname. Maybe people looked at Ambrosius Aurelius and thought, hey, he's doing what Arthur does, that mythological figure that I heard in my childhood. Let's just call him Arthur. And it stuck. I mean, nicknames come from a lot of places. We called Dwayne Johnson The Rock for some reason. Maybe that's what happened. Ambrosius Arthur Aurelius. Or maybe later generations, perhaps a writer, combined the 2 figures. So there you have it on the origins of King Arthur. He is both a mythological figure that was historicized and a historical figure that was mythicized. So when people ask me if there was a real historical Arthur, it kind of depends on what they mean. I do need to offer a caveat that this is all speculation. We're looking at Welsh mythology and we're looking at history and we're just kind of speculating on what might have happened. So when I said that maybe one story about King Arthur is true, maybe it was the ones that pertain to Ambrosius Aurelius. He was an orphan, he was an heir to royalty, he opposed King Vortigern, and he helped protect Britain from the Saxons. So there you have it on the origins of King Arthur. That's all I have for you today. Hit the button, hit the bell. Catch you later.